kind of sort of related to representing the department, but not exactly, is set etiquette. Now, set etiquette is not something that is easily taught, and here's why. Knowing what you learn from film school or high school, if you're going to an art school or something like that, is great. But a lot of it is that they teach a collective effort. You could have an idea as a sound person or as an editor, a DP, or whatever you're trained to be, and you can tell people your thoughts and opinions in a lot of school projects. Not so in the real world. You stay in your department. Even if it is the most ridiculous thing and it's just like, please just think about this. It's just, if you did this, it would be done. If you did this, you would figure it out. We'd be done with the scene by now. If only you just thought this one thing. You cannot suggest it. You can't just raise your hand and say, hey, director and actors, I have an idea. That would get you off that set so quick. There is a protocol that you need to follow, I guess you could say, as a boom operator on a set. And it basically boils down to how you interact with everybody. When you interact with first team, the actors, you have to be very polite, very formal with them. And I mean, maybe not. I mean, it could be, they could just be a cool, down-to-earth person, and in which case you approach them very cool. But regardless, you are very respectful, especially if you need something. But when you're talking to the DP, the key grips, the props people, everybody else, you have to be very, very, you have to basically handle yourself like a professional. You have to be very direct, I guess you could say, yet polite. You have to be very detail-oriented when you're talking to someone. If, for example, you're talking to locations department, you can't just say, I hear something, can we address that? You have to say, hey, it sounds like there's a noise coming from down the road, or is there air on in this building? Is there something outside up on the roof that is vibrating, causing this? Be direct, be like, these coolers here, can we kill the breakers on these, or should we unplug them? I mean, what's the approach we need to handle here? Or I got a question for the site rep. Would it be possible for them to kill this whatever sound? The extractor fans on the over the kitchen, whatever the case may be. You have to watch your interactions with first team and with all the departments that you deal with. And that's not all of set etiquette. Set etiquette, if you want to do it correctly, it is showing appreciation for people that do their job. Because if you show appreciation for them, they're of course going to like you, and it's going to be something that they're going to work well with you. Joking with them maybe, if that's your thing. Being respectful, of course, is definitely a must. But whatever the case may be, the way you handle things, you have to always, it's a good move, I should say, to show appreciation for them and their craft and how they do it. A lot of the times people appreciate being appreciated. And if you just look at someone as they come to set, like, for example, sometimes I've seen people that have come to set and they are really trying hard, but they're green. And, I may say something like, dude, you're killing it today, man. Give somebody a nice, little boost if they need it, because they might not be feeling good about themselves. There's been electricians or somebody that's helped me in the past. Like I'm thinking of this one story about an electrician that came to set, and he made a point to, whenever he set a light, he intentionally put black wrap on, or he intentionally did a little tweak to it just because he knew that I was going to ask for it or would be on it. And anytime he did something on set, a lot of the electricians would drop their ballast for their Joker ballast right there on set underneath. He would never do that. He would run it off set as far away as could possibly go and run it to set, even though it would take longer. And he would encourage others to do that. He had my back. So, of course, when, Crafty came through with their food or something like that, and I would see him looking at it or something like that, I'd say, hey, dude, you want me to grab you one? I can see you looking at him. Or I would say to Crafty, hey, make sure you stop there and talk to this guy right there. He's the hardest working guy on the set here. He'd love it. Make sure he gets one. And then, he looked back at me and was like, I appreciate that. Not just doing his job, but he was making my job easier. This is just one example, and I could go into many, many other examples, but that is, of course, showing appreciation for someone else that does you a favor, does you a solid. If they constantly are thinking about you and coming to you and saying, the script says that they're unpacking their stuff out of their shopping bags here. We got the soft bags for you coming in. We have the bags that don't make a whole lot of noise, the prop bags. Or we have pre-wet them. Is there anything else you could think of that we need to do? Or they'll come to me and say, I've already stuck the keys together. Does this work for you? And they jingle it. I'll say, dude, you're killing it. I love you. Or I'll say, where have you been all my shows? Or where have you been all my career? Or something like that. I'll joke with them or something like that to show that I appreciate them, not just saying, yeah, that's great, thanks. But then that's my approach. I will show them appreciation by being me, being goofy, being whatever. And that's just, whatever your thing is, whatever your shtick is, stick to that. That's going to work well for you. Of course, as I said before regarding, representing yourself, you have to show courtesy and respect for someone else. If you do that, most likely they'll show you courtesy and respect in return. It is a give and take thing. But there is a shirt from that a grip company here in town says, it says, if you expect respect, be the first one to show it. And that's something that you constantly that you see on their shirts. And that's exactly true. Respect is something that is given, not taken. You cannot demand respect from someone and have it be accurate and have it be real and legit. You can't demand that. It is something you earn. Now, you could do what your boss says and say, yes, sir, and whatever else, because that's what they demand. Are you really respectful, or are you just telling them what they need to hear? If you are respectful to someone else, though, most likely they will be respectful back. And of course, I've talked about that in the past. I'll just leave it at that. I don't need to really elaborate on this. Basically, my technique, though, I say regarding set etiquette is kill them with kindness. If you kill someone with kindness, then they are going to appreciate it. I mean, I really don't even need to elaborate. That's it, killing with kindness. One of the critical things is, though, that is very important, eye contact. When someone is talking to you on set and you're just doing this number on your cell phone, it shows you don't care. If you have the sides and you're going through there and someone's trying to talk to you, they may not come to you with a concern next time and say, well, sound didn't really seem to care, about, I was trying to help them out. If someone talks to you on set, give them your eyes. Direct your eye contact to them. If I'm talking to you right now and I am doing this number and looking you straight in the eyes and talking to you, is that showing more respect to you, and that's giving you more attention than if I'm like, yeah, so you want to always talk to people and get good eye contact with them. That's the right way to do it. People respect that. What are you going to take seriously? Are you going to take me seriously when I'm talking to you, directly making eye contact? Or are you going to take me seriously when I'm looking at my phone? If you're coming to me with an issue that you like to run by me, chances are it's something that you're trying to help me out with. I should give you my time and respect in return, because that's going to show you that I care enough about the fact that you cared enough to come to me about something. If not, you won't come back. You won't bring that issue to me next time unless you're extremely professional, in which case you very well might. If I go to you about something, though, I'm going to give you my all. I'm going to say, got a question for you. Is it possible to do this? And I'm going to give you my eye contact. If you're busy and looking away or whatever else, or I may say to you, or a DP, for example, I may say if I stand behind them for a couple seconds and they're talking to their gaffer and then talking to something else, I may interject myself in there just long enough to say, excuse me, sir, when you have a second. They may say, okay, absolutely. And then they may forget about me, in which case, after a couple minutes, I say, I'm around, just, I say, excuse me, just a reminder, I'm here on set when you have a second. That may be pushing it, depending on the DP. It may be a reminder that they need, oh yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry, dude. But usually I find that if I go to them and I say, when you have a second, quite often they'll say, do you need something? Yeah, I love right now. Now's a good time. What do you need? They'll go ahead and want to address now because they won't want to forget what sound concerns are, because they may have to redo something, or they may want to redo something later, and they might want to go ahead and find out what your issue is, so that way that they can go ahead and address it. Whatever the case may be, that is something that you want to do, is always be respectful of someone and give them your eye contact when you speak to them. It's extremely critical. On that note, I've already said this as part of the last video I did. Don't tell someone how to do their job. When, let's just say that there's keys that are noisy, and then you saw me talk about in the video simple solutions. If there is keys, for example, coming to you, and you say, well, I want them quieted this way, they may say, I know how to make keys quiet, man. Or, well, I want them to have a little bit of a shape to it when they have it in their hands. Otherwise, it's not going to look like keys. I'll do it. I'll handle it. You're going to start burning their bridges, stepping on their toes like that. Can't do that. What you want to do is, when you mention a concern, let them handle it. And if it does not work, or they'll most likely, if it's props, for example, so I'm using the prop as an example, they'll most likely come back to you and say, how does this work for you? And say, that's great. Or, can you not stick that anymore? I'm still hearing some jingle there. They may say, yeah, I want to keep some of the jingle in there, because, I don't want to just cement down or stick together all the keys. I want them to have a little bit of motion, because if you hold the keys sideways, it'll stick out, at an awkward angle. Okay, is it maybe possible to stick a little pad or something between them then? Oh yeah, maybe I could do that. You know what? I have some foam and some, something that might go well between there. Then they say, oh yeah, that works great. Whatever the case may be. Anyway, that's what it is. And I mentioned this in the last video also, but keeping your cool, that's a big part of set etiquette. How to handle yourself correctly is, of course, not flying off the handle and getting really upset about something. You do that, you start losing your cool, you're going to be a sideshow. You're not going to be someone they're going to take seriously. If they don't take you seriously in your sound department, then chances are you're going to start losing your credibility and your ability to get your actual work done, because they're going to say, man, look at this kid. He's a baby. Acting like a child. You can't do that. That's not the right way to handle yourself on set. Be a pro. Simple as that. Acting professional. I mean, that's, of course, being pro. That's everything. Because you are a professional, and you need to act professional at all times. Everybody on set watches everything. If there is someone that's getting loud, aggressive, is moody or whatever, everyone is paying attention to that person on set. Even if you think they're not, they are. And even if someone misses it, or a couple people did catch whatever happened, it's going to go around set real quick. People are going to be talking. That's one of the things people love doing all day, is talking, spreading gossip. Did you hear what this person said? Oh man. Did you hear that? Oh, that was hilarious. This person said this. It was hilarious. Or, dude was so mad. Don't let that be you that they're talking about. That does not go over very well. One of the things that I usually try to abide by, one of the rules that I always say when I'm on set, that I try to abide by, and this kind of, in my opinion, summarizes the whole set etiquette thing, is try to be the person that people look forward to seeing on set. You are there with them on set for a lot of hours, 60 plus hours a week. Maybe 70 plus hours, maybe 80 hours, whatever the case may be. You could be there for 6 days a week. You could be there for 7 days a week. You could be on location and away from your family. Regardless, these are the people that you're going to be working with, and working very tight with, and very close to. You have to keep in mind that they are looking at you and interacting with you as well. When they look at you and interact with you, do you want them to think of you as that jerk that just interjects themselves in with the boom whenever they want to? Or do you want them looking at it and saying, oh, he's always pleasant. Oh, I like working with him. When you work on a show and you come in for the very first day, someone says, I am so happy when I saw your name on the call sheet. Or they'll say, when I got the crew list and I saw you were here, I knew it was going to be awesome. Or say, it's been so long since I've seen you. It's so awesome to see you again. Great to see you. How you been doing? They'll approach you that way if they had a pleasant experience with you in the past. My point here is be the person they look forward to seeing, because since they see you more than they see their own families, give them that, because you don't want to be the person they dread. Set etiquette. And this, of course, goes with respecting others and representing the department well. I probably should have said this in the other video as well. But you want to maintain proper hygiene. You live with your hands over your head all day. If you know that you're naturally a sweatier person, wear moisture-wicking stuff. Make sure you stay on top of your deodorant. Maybe you have to reapply a couple of times during the day. If you are a smoker, make sure you do not have smoker's breath. Mints are your friends. Gum are your friends. Things like that. You don't want to have, a first AC right next to you, you're booming next to, and just breathing all over them. Nastiness. You're in close proximity with people. You might be right there next to the actors. You could be right there next to the camera operator, DP, dolly grip, whatever the case may be. You want to not stink up the place. You want to have yourself looking nice in your appearance. You want to take showers every day. Don't just coat on another layer of deodorant. You have to do that to represent yourself well. That's the only real way to do it properly on set. Respect your appearance, respect others through that as well. So I guess I will call it there. That is set etiquette in a nutshell. Any questions, post them down below. If not, in the next video, we'll tackle yet another aspect of being a boom operator. Until then,
have a question you'd like answered or want to add something? Be sure to write it in the comment section down below. You can also make a suggestion for future topics of discussion. Again, comment section down below, or you can email me at soundspeeds@yahoo.com. Be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you won't miss out on future sound advice.